Hello. I thought I was going to do a couple of prototypes to see if this would work, but if I do the prototypes, that may mean I then can't make any on camera. So I'm going straight in, and stick around till the end of this video because I do have a pretty cool giveaway. It's not something I've made, but it is pretty cool. My dad asked me to pick up some CD covers, these little CD sleeves, from Amazon, and I just happened that day to find 2 packs of these in the charity shop. So I've got these CD covers. I've got 2 little makes I want to try today, but I'm going to start with this one. So I've got my CD cover. It's open from here. I've just got some scrapbook page here, and I'm going to tuck it inside and hope this is going to work. Tucked it inside there. Right, now it's going to be tricky to keep this lined up, but I'm going to take a ruler and line it up to the right hand side, and I've given myself probably about ½ centimetre here. I'm going to take my craft knife and very carefully try and cut through that CD cover just to the edge of my book, and that's worked brilliant. Now I'm going to move it along a little bit. I'm not sure if this is going to distort all of my little pockets, but I'm going to give it a try. We're going to make a little ephemera holder. I'm trying to use my board as just as a guide. So we've got a cut here. I'm going to do another one here. And then I'm going to move this down. Let's put another one here and see if they're at all even. Take that out. So you can see I've got my 1, 2, 3 cuts. So you can see these little strips come up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. And this is where it could get tricky, and this might not actually work, so I might not be showing you this in a video. So I'm going to stitch down here and across, and then very carefully sew up that side where these are all open, and then I'm going to sew along what will be the bottom of these 2 pockets. So I'm going to do that. If it works, I will be showing you in a moment. I'm actually really pleased with how that came out. It actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. So I have I have a pocket here, and a pocket here. And then we have this edge, which I'm going to do something with later. I did have to really take my time and make sure I held these pieces quite taut as I fed them through my machine, and it worked okay. I'm really happy. So we've got this little pocket. Now I'm going to make I think I'm just going to make another 2, and then I will be back to show you the next step. Okay, I'm back, and I was so excited with myself that I managed to get 3 of these done. I was filming and I hadn't pressed record, so I'm going to show you what I did. I made these 3, and what I did was used my paper trimmer to just cut off some of this flap. So I've now got a smaller flap. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure how big that flap is now. It's about 1.5 centimetres instead of 2.5 centimetres. So I've cut about 1 centimetre off that. And then what I did was I took a piece of 12 by 12 and folded it. I then cut it in half, trimmed a little bit off the height, and then I stitched round to make myself 2 covers, front and a back. And you can see on one of the sides I've stitched really closely to the edge. So what my plan is I'm going to put these little sleeves in here and put that there, and then I'm going to put 2 holes in, and it's going to make a little ephemera holder, but we are going to have to put a little score in here so it opens nicely. I think what I'm going to do is start with one of the CD covers. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my CD cover, take my hole punch, and I'm going to just put a hole central to the flap that I've got left. A small pair of scissors and just trim that a little bit. Now for the purpose of this, I'm now going to, only with one hole at the moment, I'm going to line that up with one of my other covers. Take my hole punch, line that up. This is very hard. And cut. Now the same, that one's come out really well actually. And now to make sure they're the same both sides, I'm just going to flip that over, line that up again, hold that as still as I can, and just cut, punch that next hole. And again, that one's come out pretty perfectly actually. I'm just going to do that on all of my little pockets until they all have holes in the right places. So all my holes are now punched in there. So I'm just going to take one of these and line it up on my cover, making sure I've got a reasonably even gap top and bottom. I'm going to take my pen this time and just draw a hole. I'll draw my circle. Now this is both the front and back cover. They're back to front at the moment, but I'm going to put those together and cut those holes. And now I'm going to grab my little rings. I'm going to grab two of those out. And I'm going to actually bind these all together. So I've got two of those. So what you could do is you could put a grommet in the front and the back, or you can do what I'm going to do and make this for looks rather. Just grab my scoreboard and put that down like that. I'm going to put my insert over the top, and I know this is going to be a little bit hard to see, but there is a line where the CD cover bends like that, which will become the flap of the CD cover. And on mine, that is at the little notch between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. I don't know what that is, but that's where I want to score. So I'll score there, move that one, and then I'm going to score the one underneath. So I can now, that will bend. So now we have that. So what I want to do is, that's my front cover. Just double check I have all of my pockets facing the same way, which they are. If you wanted to put more pages in, these rings would work, but I'm going to go back to my original idea and use my grommets, my eyelets. So I'm just going to put this eyelet in. Okay, so the back is not great because I haven't put the back on, but it does make this a lot more sturdy using the eyelets to hold it together, because it is such a flimsy cover. However, what you could do is put this in just for kind of looks, if you like. Put these in just so it gives it a little bit of just a prettier finish really. And you can decorate your front, and you've now got your little pockets to put in some ephemera, or I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in here. So that is the little ephemera holder using CD cases. So the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to make a couple I've started these scrap clusters. So this one I have glued, this one I have glued, this one I have just stuck with a staple, and I'm going to show you what I did. I started with these little rectangles that I've rounded the corners on. I'm going to show you how I made them, all with scrap card. I'm just going to use my brush to ink this up, both sides. Any old scrap card could be used for this. And then I'm using my potting soil stamp, and I'm using my background stamp from the entomology kit, and I'm going to use a random part of the stamp over that, flip it over and do another bit over here, just make that a little bit more interesting. Now that's the busiest side, so I'm going to use this side. Now when I make things, I always end up with loads of strips. Here's another one that I've started, and another one that I've started. Let's see if we can make 3. So all I am going to do, I'm going to start with some scraps and just lay these up. Now, these look a bit pants at the moment, fair dues, they do. What I'm going to do is grab my glue and just glue these little pieces down. These, and like I said, they don't look anything at the moment. I'm just going to take these to my sewing machine and do some stitching. So I had a little bit of an issue. I did try to, my stitching tension has gone, and that's usually resolved by rethreading my machine. However, I just could not. I didn't want to risk it, so I haven't done it, and that means the stitching on my little scrappy clusters makes them even more scrappy, which is fine. And now I'm going to get the main feature, and that is postage stamps. But I have got just some lovely random postage stamps here that will complete the embellishment on these clusters. So I'm just going to put my stamps down. Actually, they're a bit similar in colour, so let's swap that out. I'm going to put these away. With each cluster, I'm going to grab my ink brush and just ink that, because I didn't ink any of the, I'm finding it a lot easier to use my brush once I'm done. I'm not going to ink the stamp because I love it the way it is. I'm going to pop on a bit of glue, glue that down, and then I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to put a little staple in there just to finish off that little cluster. And I'm just going to do the same with the others. I now have my 6 little clusters, and I have my little ephemera holder. So I'm just going to pop one in there, one in there. Pretty basic make yet again, but that's how I'm rolling at the moment. So I'm just going to put a couple in there, and then I'll put a couple in here. And these are something you can make really, really quickly using up some of those vintage postage stamps. So we have our little ephemera holder and some very, very quick simple postage stamp clusters, which brings me to the giveaway. It's kind of a two-part giveaway. I was in a vintage shop over the weekend and I found this lovely, it's actually a collectible shop that I go to at the seaside, fairly close to where I live. It's got a little mark on it, but it is a really beautiful album. Some of the pages are not adhered into the book. I'm just going to flick through and show you what is in here. It is pretty packed full of stamps. Now they are vintage. There is a, I would say that's a seller's sticker in the front of the book. So we have an absolute ton of vintage stamps. Now some of them are slightly stuck. They have been in here for many a year. They will come out as long as you are gentle and use a pair of tweezers. But we have some absolutely beautiful stamps in here, and I think this would make an amazing giveaway. So this is my giveaway prize. Multiple stamps in here as well with some of them, so you don't have to worry about using all your stamps. So we've got multiples, some of them are in here upside down, of beautiful vintage stamps. They are all from the UK. Lots and lots in here. So somebody has taken a lot of time collecting these and removing them from the envelopes. Plenty of room if you want to add more. But obviously these can all be used in projects. It's always quite interesting when you see stamps that are still together like this. There is every colour you could possibly think of in here. And this is where some of the pages are not actually in the book. Beautiful stamps. We have a penny red in here, and this page is completely out. But there is another couple of pages here if you wanted to add your own. You've got lots of room to add a few things as well if you wanted to. So that is part of the giveaway. So as we are approaching the Christmas season, I thought it would be fun to include some Christmas first day covers in the giveaway as well. So we have this one from King's College, Cambridge. I'm just using a little piece of paper to cover up some addresses here. This one is from 1982. We have this one, it's from 1975. We have this one from 1981, and I just love these kings here. And then I've got a couple that are not Christmassy. So this one, although it's not Christmassy, I think it's got a real Christmassy vibe to it. And this is from 1979. I have this one, which is nature conservation, and that is from 1986. We have these florals, these orchids from 1993, and we have this first day cover from 1980. So that is the giveaway. To enter, there is no cash alternative. I had lots and lots of issues with this last time. This is the prize. You must be a subscriber. You must leave a comment to be entered in the draw. I do filter out duplicate comments, so please only comment once, and you must like the video. So that is the giveaway. It is open for 2 weeks from today. The rules will be in the description box, along with the closing date. So please make sure you subscribe, you like the video, and you leave a comment, and you'll be entered in the draw, and I will draw it in 2 weeks' time. So that is what you need to do to enter the draw. So thank you so much. I will be back as soon as I can. Take care. Bye.